Hey guys, what's up? This is David Severin with Third Floor Gamers, and today I'm going to go over some basic tips, some tricks, and some more advanced strategies for one of my favorite two-player games called Seven Wonders Duel. Now, this is a standalone game based off of the Seven Wonders larger game, but this is the two-player version. It's a fast, simple game, takes place over about 30 minutes. It has a card drafting engine building system through the game, which I think is one of my favorite types of games, kind of mixed together. I love engine builders and I love drafting systems. So today we're going to go over some basic stuff, and at the end I'll tell you some things that I like the most about the game, and I hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys. So this is the basic setup for Seven Wonders Duel. This is your combat meter track. These are some scientific technology tokens you can earn. These are your wonders, and this is the basic setup for the first age. That's the second age cards. You have third age cards, and this is your money over here. Okay. The game itself takes place over the three ages. There's three winning conditions. One of the conditions is this is your military tracker, and if this tracker makes it to your opponent's side, you win the game. If it makes it to your side, they win the game. That's the first winning condition. The second winning condition is on the scientific cards, there's these little symbols. If you can earn 6 of those symbols, then you win the game. And then the last but not least is winning with victory. Certain cards have victory on them, like the blue cards. Some of the green cards have victory points on them, and a lot of the wonders come with victory on them as well. And that is the basic setup. To play the game, you have one of 3 actions you can take. You can essentially buy one of the cards that's on the track, which is building a building, and you can place it in front of you, and you get to do whatever action you get at that point, or you get to use the resource for future buildings from that card itself. You can discard a card by taking one of the cards off the track, discarding it, and collecting the money that you get based on the card and how many yellow cards you discard in, or you can construct one of the wonders. So for the first and most basic strategy within the game is the wonders themselves. At the start of the game, you get to choose 4 of the wonders that you're going to be playing with, and your opponent gets to choose the other 4. So depending on what you see your opponent choosing is kind of a telltale for what they might be trying to do. If they're choosing all the ones that have the military victory on them, then there's a good possibility that they might be hoping to go for the military win. If they're choosing ones that have a lot of these icons like this, these are the take another action after building that wonder. Usually that means that they're going for a civilian victory, which is the last victory you can have, which is at the end of the game, like I said, those victory points. Now, if you find somebody going for the military, one of the smartest things to do is make sure that when you see military on the board like these, you just discard them. It's the easiest way and the quickest way to throw off somebody's strategy. With scientific, if you see a lot of green coming up at the start of the game, and you see them strategically placed throughout here, and you have the option to go first, you might want to take that as your first card. That could be a good thing, but you would be giving up other ways from these gray and the brown cards here to be able to build buildings a lot faster, like the wonders. The most strategic and the best way to play this game, in my personal opinion, is to just go for the civilian victory and just wait out the long haul. The best way to do that is by collecting as many of these brown and gray cards as you can at the start of the game through the first age, and going into the second age. And that way you can be the first one to construct the wonders, because as you see, the wonders have some of the quickest and fastest ways to get victory points is with the wonders. And then later in the game, starting the second age, going into the third, starting to collect the blue cards to get straight up victory as well. And then with you trading in the green and the red cards, it's going to give you money, which also gives you victory at the end of the game as well. So that is probably the best strategy you can have, just making sure that your opponent doesn't get too far down your tracker, and what's it really giving them is 2 victory points. So they're wasting a lot of time and a lot of efforts trying to collect the cards, and maybe even if they get you to lose some money and get up to 5 victory does not compare to you building 4 or even 5 of these wonders, which are victoried at 3 to 9 apiece. You'll crush them almost every single time. The wild card is always two things. Number one, scientific. Scientific has 6 symbols you need to collect, like I said. 2 of them being only in the 3rd age of the cards. And if they, in each age, you don't play with all the cards there are, so there is actually a chance that you'll never see the last symbols because they might not even be played when you're in the 3rd age. That's a chance you take when playing scientific, in my opinion. But the biggest wild card is always what we call the guild cards. So the guild cards are these these darker purple cards. These guild cards are ones that are going to give you bonus victory depending on what you do. Now, the guild cards are always the wild card because you could be going for something and your guild card never comes up in the 3rd age, and your opponent's guild cards, they do come up, which could give them an advantage. But at that point, like I said before, just like the military or the scientific, you just take it and discard it and get the money. Because at the end of the game, you're going to win because you built the most wonders. And that is the best strategy you can take. So that was my basic strategies and how I win at Severin Wonders Duel. Now, they're not completely flawed. They're not perfect, and they do have flaws in them. But I am telling you, if you go from the start, forget about military, and if you see the cards set up properly for strategic, then you could attempt to go for that, but it's still taking a chance. It's literally a roll of the dice on whether or not you're going to get what needs to come up or not. So again, the best strategy is always to go for the civilian victory. And if you want to argue with me, that's fine. Leave something in the comments. I'll respond to it. I'm all about that. If you listen to this and you win some more games, definitely hit that like button, hit the bell. You can see some other strategies I'm going to have from some other games coming out here, as well as some other things. But again, thanks for watching. Until next time.